The story starts with the main character regaining consciousness after a loud, startling sound. When he opened his eyes, the first thing he saw was a fire blazing nearby. As his vision cleared, he realized it was a bonfire surrounded by people celebrating. Believing it was a camp party, he decided to join in. The smell of roasted lamb filled the air, making him even more eager to take part. There was food and laughter all around. But as he tried to run toward them, he fell hard to the ground and realized he was tied up with rope. Confused and alarmed, he looked around until a glowing screen appeared in front of him, displaying a message. Mission: survive for 12 hours while being hunted by primitive tribesmen. Soon after, Chin noticed several figures moving near the bonfire. He tried to remember how he ended up there and where a certain girl might be. Attempting to speak to the primitives, he told them there must be some mistake. But before he could explain, flashes of memory returned. The scene shifted to 12 hours earlier. Chen had been crouched by a river on a deserted island, drinking water. Just the day before, he had been with Sister Jiang shopping in the city. Then, after taking a nap, he had mysteriously awakened in this strange place. He wondered if some divine punishment had brought him there. Moments later, he saw a group of men and a boy playing nearby. Thinking they were actors in a costume event, he laughed, until the boy suddenly attacked him with a stick. Shocked, Chen shouted for them to stop, believing it was all a joke. But it wasn't. The men chased him with real fury. Chen sprinted away, confident no one could catch him. He was a trained runner, after all. But to his surprise, the primitives began throwing spears. A new screen appeared in front of him, showing main mission activated. Startled, he questioned what was happening. Was this a game system? Another world? While he ran, a spear struck him, and everything went dark. When he awoke again, the same blue screen reappeared. Mission complete. He had survived. His reward, a survival package and 1 attribute point. Opening the package, Chen found a weapon called the Split Mountain Axe. Instantly, new knowledge flooded his mind. Skills in wilderness survival and basic medicine, and unexpectedly, he could now understand the language of the primitives. He concluded that he was in an ancient world where civilization had yet to begin, and that his goal was simple but absolute: survive and adapt to this new reality. Chen began to wonder if this strange system was designed to make him build a civilization, perhaps even to make him a ruler, a prime minister, or maybe a god. Testing the theory, he ordered the system to allocate his attribute points to strength and equip the Split Mountain Axe. The moment it responded, power surged through his body. His muscles tightened, his senses sharpened. With a single pull, he snapped the ropes that had held him captive. But before he could plan his next move, 2 primitive men, Stonebone and Langu, spotted him. "Don't let him escape!" Stonebone shouted. They advanced, weapons raised. Chin faced them head-on. "How dare you defy your god?" he roared. They froze, confused. "God? What god?" Stonebone asked. "I'm Langu." Chin guessed he might be the leader. "I was sent from the heavens to rule over you," he declared. "You've insulted me. Now I must punish you." Fury flashed in Stonebone's eyes as he charged. At that instant, a new screen appeared before Chin. Mission: subdue the primitive tribe and establish leadership. Failure penalty: loss of Split Mountain Axe. Losing the axe meant certain death. Determined, Chin braced himself. The first clash shook the ground. Stonebone's strike was heavy enough to crack the earth. Chin realized these primitives were far stronger than he'd expected. But with his enhanced strength, he countered with full force. Their weapons collided, then Stonebones shattered in half. Gasps erupted from the camp. Everyone stared in disbelief. Sensing danger, Chen's instinct screamed. Stonebone yelled for everyone to attack together. Chen dodged spears and strikes, shouting angrily, "Fight fair. I can take 5 of you alone before I fall." But he knew that if they all came at once, he wouldn't last seconds. Then, something strange happened. The tribes suddenly backed away, fear spreading across their faces. Chen frowned, until his system pinged again. Side mission: protect the primitive tribe by driving away a ferocious saber-tooth. Status: automatically accepted. Before he could process it, a deep growl echoed behind him. A saber-toothed tiger loomed, muscles coiled, fangs glinting. Chen's blood ran cold. He turned and bolted as the beast lunged after him. Each roar shook the ground. "Why does everything here want to eat me?" he shouted between breaths. A claw slashed his back, pain flared. He knew he couldn't win head-on. Then he spotted smoke from the bonfire. Fire. Most beasts feared it. Chen formulated a desperate plan. He turned, taunting the tiger, then dove and rolled toward the flames. The beast pounced, using his body as a springboard. "Damn it, movies lied," Chen muttered, scrambling to his feet. He dashed to the bonfire, grabbed a burning stick, and swung it wildly. The saber-tooth hesitated, snarling, then flinched. Firelight reflected in its eyes. Chen shouted at it, bluffing bravery he didn't feel. The tiger roared once more, then froze as another, deeper sound echoed from the forest. Something bigger. Terrified, the saber-tooth fled into the darkness. Chen stood panting, gripping the flaming branch as his system chimed one last time. Mission complete. Chen received his reward, 2 attribute points. Hearing strange noises again, he decided it was smarter to move away from the area first. Safety came before curiosity. Once at a distance, he ordered the system to assign 1 point to strength and 1 to agility. The change was immediate. His body felt lighter, faster, stronger. He sprinted back toward the primitive camp, his movements sharp and effortless. When Stone Bone saw him alive, his eyes widened. Why didn't the saber-tooth eat you?" he stammered. Chen smirked. "That tiger? To me, it was just a scared little kitty." He explained, with fake nonchalance, that the beast had run away in fear. The tribe stood in awe, whispering among themselves. Chen smiled inwardly. Finally, they might start seeing him as someone worth following. A new mission appeared before him. Assist the primitive tribe in building homes, establishing a settlement, and expanding the population to 50 within 18 days. Chen counted quickly. Including children, there were only 15 people. To reach 50, he'd need to merge other tribes or attract outsiders. That night, everyone slept peacefully, but Chen couldn't. Hunger gnawed at him. He noticed the primitives were fearless enough to sleep without guards, but his stomach refused to let him rest. He thought of the roasted lamb he'd seen earlier near the bonfire. Still, he hesitated. If a saber-toothed tiger existed here, worse creatures might too. But hunger won. Gripping his axe, he decided to take the risk. Moving cautiously through the darkness, he returned to the place where he'd seen the lamb. The smell of cooked meat still lingered. As he approached, he saw remains of other animals nearby, fresh kills. That meant predators. He collected what food he could and began heading back. Suddenly, the ground beneath him gave way and he fell. Angry, he shouted, "Who dug a hole here?" But when he looked closer, he froze. It wasn't a hole, it was a massive footprint. Each impression was larger than his entire body. This isn't human," he whispered. The scale was monstrous, like something from prehistoric times. Only then did he understand, this world wasn't just primitive, it belonged to the age of the deadliest beasts in history. He climbed out, shaken, and hurried back to camp. If creatures like that roamed nearby, he had to find safer ground before sunrise. By morning, chaos had broken out. The primitives were fighting over food, growling and pushing one another. Chen's patience snapped. "Enough," he yelled. "Stop stealing from each other." The crowd froze. He sighed. They still didn't understand fairness, cooperation, or resource management. Civilization wouldn't be easy. He announced, "Today's food goes first to the hunters who joined the hunt." Stone Bone nodded, explaining their system. "We hunt in turns. Yesterday it was me, Aun, and Hanger. Today it's Luang, Hiju, Ja, and Langwa." Everyone agreed quickly, especially after Stone Bone added, "If our king joins the hunt, we all want to go." As they cheered, Chen's gaze fell on a boy, Sam, the same one who had attacked him the previous day. Chen suspected that Sam might still be uneasy, thinking he held a grudge against him. To ease the tension, Chen decided to lift his spirits. He gathered the group and announced that anyone who wished could join him in searching for a place to build their new home. A young girl named Mia stepped forward, tilting her head. "What's a home?" she asked. Chen smiled and explained, "A home is where we live together. A place that protects us, like the roots of a tree that nourish and shelter both the old and the new." Mia's face lit up. She ran to Chen and hugged him tightly, asking if she could live with her king. Chen chuckled and said gently, "Everyone will live together. We'll all be one family." Overjoyed, Mia started shouting that the king wanted to live with her and have children. Laughter spread among the tribe. Stonebone then asked where they would build this new home. Chen gathered everyone and outlined his plan. "We'll need open land with mountains to the north and a river to the south. That way, we'll have water for drinking and farming, stone and firewood for building, and natural protection from attacks." He also pointed out that such an area would provide seeds, materials, and access to the sea for future exploration. Sam suddenly spoke up, saying he knew of a place that fit Chen's description. Chen's eyes lit up. "Can you take us there?" Sam nodded but hesitated. "It's not far, but we shouldn't go. There's a herd of cows there. Dangerous ones." Chen frowned. "Cows? We shouldn't fear cows. They mean meat, milk, and leather. They'll be our prey." He ordered everyone to prepare for the journey eastward toward their future settlement. The scene shifted to the area Sam had mentioned. When they arrived, Sam assured Chen that the place was safe. Chen urged everyone to move quickly and reassured them that the saber-toothed tiger wouldn't be a problem. It had been driven off. "If it returns," he said, "I'll handle it." Sam explained that once they climbed the mountain, they would see where the herd gathered. When they reached the summit, Sam froze and signaled everyone to stay low. "They're down there," he whispered. Chen peeked over the edge and caught the faint scent of the ocean. He ordered the system to open the map, and a grin spread across his face. It was the perfect site for a future city. Just then, Sam pulled him back, warning that the cows could hear them. Checking his system manual, Chen scanned the area: 3 plant species, green sunflower grass, dragon wine, and big sabaki, and 2 animal types, gray squirrels and pincer wasps. But there was no record of any cows. Puzzled, he asked Sam where they were exactly. Sam pointed toward a forest near a river bend. "That's where they stay," he said, voice trembling. "But we shouldn't get too close." Half an hour later, they reached the edge of the forest. The air was still, too still. Chen frowned, sensing something wrong. Why was Sam so afraid of cows? Then his system readings shifted. His pulse quickened. Something enormous was nearby. Sam whispered, "Look up." Chen did, and froze. Towering above them was a massive beast with metallic black skin and twisted horns like steel blades. His system confirmed it: iron black horn cow. Stonebone's voice trembled. We're really hunting that?" Chen, hiding his nerves, nodded. "Just set up an ambush. I'll check the situation first." The others whispered in awe, calling him brave. But behind the tree, Chen was near tears. "Why me? I don't want to die here," he muttered. Still, he steeled himself, knowing his tribe depended on him. The cow's limbs were thicker than his entire body. He looked for the smallest one, trying to stay calm. Raising a hand, he attempted a friendly gesture, but the moment it saw him, the creature's eyes flared red, and it roared. In seconds, the entire herd charged. Chen ran for his life, sprinting downhill, shouting, "Don't chase me!" He dove into a river, swimming frantically as the monsters thundered behind him. From afar, the tribe misunderstood completely. They thought their king was courageously luring the herd away to protect them. They cheered in admiration. Meanwhile, Chen climbed up a ridge, panting, when the ground trembled violently. Below, one of the giant cows had crashed into the mountain, unable to stop itself. Watching this, Chen's eyes widened, an idea sparked. If he could lure them into these cliffs, they'd fall one by one. It might be the only way to defeat them. But now, trapped atop the ridge with the furious herd below, Chen realized he couldn't climb down. Not yet. Chen had no choice but to climb higher. Using every ounce of strength, he scaled the rocky cliff, and when he finally reached the top, his breath caught. The view stretched endlessly, a vast landscape of rivers, forests, and open plains. It was perfect. Exactly what he had envisioned. Standing there, wind whipping through his hair, Chen smiled. This was where his empire would rise. His real journey had finally begun. Below, Sam noticed the cow herd retreating. Confused, he wondered why they had suddenly dispersed, and where their king had gone. Stone Bone frowned. Could the king have been crushed? He muttered. Determined to find out, he climbed a tree to look for Chen, or at least recover his axe. But before he could reach the top, the axe came flying through the air and embedded itself in the tree beside him. Startled, Stone Bone froze. Then Chen's voice echoed from above, praising his courage for assuming the worst but still daring to climb. The tribe cheered in relief. Chen was alive. Stone Bone called out, "Were the cows strong, my king?" Chen grinned. "Strong enough to make good meat. I'll use it to strengthen my body. Would you like to try some too?" Both Stone Bone and Sam quickly shook their heads. "We're no match for those beasts, and even if we could kill them, we wouldn't eat their meat." Chen's expression hardened. "Did you not hear me?" I asked a question. His tone made everyone flinch. They immediately nodded, agreeing that they wanted to eat it after all. Satisfied, Chen told them his plan. "I'll teach you how to make weapons, then we'll hunt them in 3 days." He selected a large tree, raised his axe, and split it cleanly in two with a single swing. Gasps erupted. None of them had ever seen such power. Stone Bone stepped forward, puzzled. "Why cut that tree? It doesn't bear fruit." Chen replied firmly, "We'll turn it into weapons. Watch carefully." He demonstrated how to shape wooden spears and noticed that his system awarded him a technology attribute bonus while crafting. He then showed them how to use the spear, how to hold it, aim, and throw. The tribe watched in awe. They had always gathered wood but had never imagined it could be transformed into tools of power. Excited, everyone began to make and test their own spears. Soon, the entire tribe was training. Chen challenged Luang and Hiju Xiao to attack him together. They charged furiously, but Chen moved with precision, dodging every strike. With a swift counter, he knocked Hiju Xiao down cold. Luang attacked again, drawing a bit of blood this time. Everyone froze. Chen wiped the blood and said calmly, "If that had been the sharp end of your spear, you'd be dead." Luang shouted, "The king is a god. None of us can defeat him." Chen shook his head. "You rely too much on strength. The spear's power lies in its tip. Use technique, not brute force." He set up a wooden target and ordered them to practice throwing from a distance. One by one, they tried. Every spear missed. Chen sighed, thinking maybe none of them had talent. But suddenly, one spear sliced through the air and hit the target dead center. Everyone turned, stunned. Chen followed the direction of the throw and saw Hang Shi standing there. "Did you throw that?" he asked. Hang Shi nodded. "Did I win?" Chen smiled. "You did." He handed him 2 spears as a reward. Before they could celebrate, someone ran up, shouting, "A beast is approaching." Chen raised his head, eyes sharpening. "Everyone, get ready," he ordered. But inside, he was thrilled. This was the perfect chance for them to gain real combat experience. From the forest, a massive creature emerged, roaring furiously. Chen gripped his spear, leapt forward and shouted, "Let's take it down." The battle began under Chen's command. "Form a circle," he shouted. "Wait for my signal." The beast roared and lunged, shaking the ground, but Chen moved first. He darted forward, slashing at its flank. The creature staggered, its speed dropping. "Now, attack from behind," Chen ordered. Stone Bone and Hang Shi obeyed, hurling their spears from the rear. The beast turned enraged and rammed Chen with such force that his spear snapped in half. He stumbled back, realizing he needed to act fast, but Hang Shi's spear flew through the air and struck the beast square in the mouth. Chen was impressed by Hang Shi's aim. Encouraged, the rest of the tribe began throwing their spears one after another. From above, Sam waited in a tree for the right moment. Pierced by several blows, the beast howled in pain and tried to escape. Chen blocked its path. "Now, Sam, finish it," he shouted. Sam leaped down from the tree, driving his spear into the creature's skull. The beast went berserk. It thrashed violently, its eyes burning red. Sam was caught in danger, barely holding onto his weapon. Chen sprinted forward, jumped, and swung his axe down with full strength. A massive explosion of dust and smoke engulfed the clearing. The tribe gasped, unable to see anything. "King, are you alive?" someone cried. When the smoke cleared, Chen's voice rose through the silence. "Stop shouting. What are you trying to do, summon ghosts?" he joked, brushing dust off his shoulders. Relief turned into cheers. "We'll eat well tonight," Chen declared. "You all did great." He praised Sam for his bravery and named Hang Shi the MVP of the hunt, promising to take him on future expeditions and provide him with new weapons to test. Later that night, Stone Bone proudly recounted to others how he had helped defeat the beast. Nearby, Mia walked past holding a piece of meat. Stone Bone tried to take it, but she refused. "This is for the king," she said, walking over to Chen and offering it to him. Chen raised an eyebrow. "You're eating it raw?" Mia nodded. "Is that wrong?" Chen frowned. "Didn't you cook the lamb before? Why not now?" Mia explained that they couldn't preserve the last fire. They didn't know how to make it again. So they had no choice but to eat raw meat. Chen realized then that fire was the true beginning of civilization. With it came safety, warmth, and progress. If he wanted these people to evolve, he needed to teach them. He called everyone to gather. "Watch closely," he said, taking a broken spear and a wooden block. He placed dry leaves and tree fluff in the hollow, then rolled the stick quickly between his palms. Sparks appeared, then smoke, then flame. The tribe gasped. Fire crackled to life before them. Stone Bone fell to his knees shouting, "The king made fire! Our king made fire!" Chen quickly grabbed him by the shoulder. "Quiet. Never shout like that again," he warned. "Stay low. We don't need unnecessary attention." At that moment his system chimed. Plus 10 technology points earned. Curious, Chen investigated and discovered that technology points could be used to identify hereditary plaques, each costing 10 points to analyze. He made a mental note to explore that later. Before he could think further, Sam approached. "My king, when we divided the meat, I noticed the wild boar was nursing. I searched nearby and found its cubs." The system immediately triggered a new quest: fence in the wild boar cubs and domesticate them. Chen accepted without hesitation and told Sam and Mia, "Go together. Bring them back unharmed. I want all of them alive." Mia grabbed Sam's hand, smiling, and the two ran off toward the forest. Meanwhile, Chen began preparing a pigsty for their return. He called out to Stone Bone, who was still eating, "When you're done, come. I've got work for you." By evening, Stone Bone returned carrying bundles of branches. "Why does the king need so many?" he asked his companions. When they arrived, he froze in confusion. Everyone was busy twisting grass into something new. "What are you making?" he asked. Hang Shi grinned. "The king calls it a grass rope." The new grass ropes proved much stronger than the vines they had used before. Chen explained the process clearly. First, they had to smooth out the straw, then weave it by crossing the strands tightly together until it became durable. Stone Bone grew frustrated, unable to understand what was happening. "What are we even doing?" he grumbled. "Stop complaining and bring me the branches," Chen ordered calmly. He then instructed everyone to collect more wood and tie the ropes in a specific pattern. "We'll need at least 5 wooden frames," he said, marking the ground. When the frames were done, he told them to insert them into the pits he had dug, bind the tops together, and cover the structure neatly with straw. When the framework was complete, the shape resembled a small hut. As soon as it was finished, the entire tribe rushed inside, fighting to claim the spot for themselves. Some even shouted that they wanted to live there and have children with the king. Chen froze, his face twitching in disbelief. "This is not for you," he shouted. Just then, Sam and Mia arrived, carrying the wild boar cubs. "Put them in the pen," Chen instructed. Stone Bone suddenly burst into tears and ran toward him. "No, my king. You can't give such a fine nest to wild beasts." Aun hugged Chen and nodded in agreement. "We all want to live there, my king." Stone Bone added desperately, "We just want a warm home where we can cuddle with you." At that, Chen lost his patience. He grabbed both of them and threw them aside. "I don't want to cuddle with a man. he shouted. "And if you keep acting like this, when we build proper houses, neither of you will get one." Aun, stunned, quickly replied, "If there's a better nest, I'll move out. Let Stone Bone have this one." But Stone Bone shook his head. "I'm not living in a pigsty." Ignoring them, Chin turned to Sam. "Put the boars in the pen." Hangshur approached, puzzled. "My king, why are we keeping these wild beasts alive if they're meant to be our food?" Chin smiled. "Wouldn't you rather have endless food without hunting?" Hangshur's eyes widened. "Yes," Chin explained patiently. "By raising these cubs, they'll grow and breed. Soon, we'll have a steady source of meat." As he finished speaking, the system displayed a message: "Quest complete, beast taming successful." Chin received a reward package. Inside was a small packet of salt and several recipes: fried eggplant, stir-fried peanuts, fried eggs, roasted lamb leg, and stir-fried clams. He blinked, confused. "Is the system trying to make me a chef now?" he muttered. But when he checked the details, it stated that completing the recipes could unlock new special rewards. Intrigued, he decided to try cooking soon. That night, after everyone had fallen asleep, Chen and Sam stayed by the fire. Chen praised him for his loyalty and effort. Sam lowered his head. "I caused you trouble when we first met. You shouldn't have to forgive me." Chen laughed and hugged him. "You've got it all wrong. I never held a grudge." After a moment, Chen asked, "Are there other tribes near here?" Sam nodded. "Yes, but they're not friendly. They look different from us." "Tell me everything you know," Chen said. Sam described 3 groups: the Coconut Grove clan, the Bay clan, and the Giant Stone clan. All were at least a day and night's journey away. "The Coconut Grove clan has around 30 to 40 members," Sam explained. "They avoid conflict and are good at traveling long distances. Their leader is a strong woman." "The Bay clan also has about 30 to 40 people, but they're fierce and often fight among themselves," he continued. Finally, Sam grew serious. "The Giant Stone clan is the largest and most powerful. They live high in the southwest mountains and only come down sometimes. People say their leader has divine power." Chen sat in silence, staring into the fire, realizing that his next challenge would not be building homes, but dealing with these tribes that ruled the land. The leader of the Giant Stone clan, according to Sam, could defeat a tiger with his bare hands. Hearing all of this, Chen analyzed the information carefully. If Sam's intelligence was correct, the Coconut Grove clan would be the most suitable first target for assimilation. They were peaceful, mobile, and less aggressive, unlike the Bay clan, which was unstable, or the Giant Stone clan, which seemed far too powerful. To unite all 3 in the future, Chen knew he would need to use wisdom, not war. As he pondered his plans, he suddenly felt someone's arms wrap around him from behind. It was Mia. "Why aren't you sleeping, my king?" she whispered. "Do you want to do something exciting?" Chen froze instantly. "No," he replied curtly. Mia pouted and sat down in front of him in a strange pose. "Do I look like a kitty now?" she teased. Flustered, Chen grabbed Sam by the hand and said loudly, "Sam, you needed my help, right? Let's go." Without waiting, he sprinted off, dragging Sam along. Mia sighed softly as she watched him leave, disappointed. The next morning, Chen and Sam waited by the seaside for the Bay clan to appear. They had heard that the Bay clan often came there to hunt dodo birds. When the clan finally arrived, Chen smiled faintly. His patience had paid off. But his smile faded when he saw them immediately start fighting among themselves over a single bird. Chen turned to Sam. "If we could absorb the Bay clan, we'd grow stronger and gain resources like those birds." Sam shook his head. "Their numbers are more than double ours. We wouldn't stand a chance in a fight." Chen thought for a moment. "Then we need stronger weapons. Once we finish dealing with the cowherd, we'll forge something powerful enough to change that." They returned to their camp, where the tribe greeted them cheerfully. Stone Bone ran forward, almost in tears. "We thought you abandoned us, my king." Chen raised his hands. No, I just had business to handle. But we've got a lot of work to do." He turned to Stone Bone. "Keep practicing your spear throws. And Hangshur, you're in charge of training everyone." I want them accurate within 1 day. Hang Sure saluted proudly. A little later, Mia appeared again, this time holding a large leaf. Look, my king. It's very soft. Perfect for wiping after, you know. Chen blinked, then sighed. Good discovery, but I need help sharpening weapons. Gather all the women and collect rocks instead. After some time, Mia returned with the other women, their arms full of stones. Are these good enough? She asked. Perfect, Chen replied. He demonstrated the process. Rub the stones on the wet rock until you form a sharp edge or point. Then tie the stone to a stick using rope. That's how you make a stone axe.